Welcome to Virtual Bike Month presented by the Miami Valley Regional Planning Commission. It's time for the Ride of the Week. So for this week's Ride of the Week, it took a little extra planning because there's a lot of high water out there. So we went to a few online resources to help us understand what trails may be underwater. And so the Miami Conservancy District site, mcdwater.org, has a trail conditions page. It talks about different sections of trail and what the river gauge would show and create a likelihood of that section being underwater. They have a few other options and resources here that show on a map format specific spots and what that number would be. The Great Miami Riverway.com trail conditions site has an interactive map as well. So it looks like there's a lot of water over the Great Miami River Trail, so it's a great time to go and do the Great Little Trail from Austin Landing down through the Five Rivers MetroParks Medlar Conservation Area, down the hill to the Great Miami River Trail, at which point we will head north until we hit high water. We also can showcase the Great Miami Riverway alternate to the Underground Railroad bicycle route, which is a 65-mile loop in the Dayton area that gives riders of the Underground Railroad an alternate to come and experience Montgomery County and the Great Miami Riverway. So the section of trail we'll be on today is part of that route. It's a full mapped Adventure Cycling Association route right through the Dayton area that highlights 17 different historical sites along that route. It makes a great weekend tour for us locally here in the Miami Valley. But look, here's the profile map where we're headed. So we're going to start up here at Austin Landing and head down that hill to the Great Miami River Trail. So that's one of the steepest hills on the entire Miami Valley Trails network, which is the nation's largest paved trail network. So let's get out of the office and on to the trail. We're here at the Bike Hub at Austin Landing to start our ride on the Great Little Trail. We're going to ride down to the intersection with the Great Miami River Trail through the Medlar Conservation Area, part of Five Rivers MetroParks. At that point, we're going to turn north and see how far we can go until we may run into high water on the way to Miamisburg. If there wasn't a high water event, it would be a 7-mile ride from here to Miamisburg. We also may check out an alternate and turn south to go to Crains Run Park. So, join us for this ride on the Great Little Trail.
Here in the Bike Hub at Austin Landing, there's a fix-it station, bike racks, restrooms, and lockers. Let's go check out the wetlands in Medlar Conservation Area.
So we just crossed Innovation Drive across from the Bike Hub, and here we are on the trail. If you were to head that way, there's a short stretch of trail on to Waldrew Park, a Miami Township park, and to Washington Township and the eastern terminus of the Great Little Trail. But we're going to head on towards Austin Road and down to Medlar Conservation Area. Let's go. Certainly nice to have trails built into transportation infrastructure like this trail on the overpass of Interstate 75 along Austin Boulevard. So bike commuting becomes one of the great benefits of living in the Miami Valley, the home to the nation's largest paved trail network. We just passed Yaskawa. LexisNexis is near the end of the trail, and it's all connected to the nation's largest paved trail network, where you can experience over 350 miles of connected trail. So give bike commuting a chance. give it a try. It's great because you probably live close to a trail on the nation's largest paved trail network.
We've come about a mile from Austin Landing, and now we are at the intersection with Byers Road, and we're going to turn right. Welcome to the Miamisburg Soccer Complex. Welcome to Medlar Conservation Area.
We're here at the trailhead parking area of Medlar Conservation Area, a couple miles into our ride and about 2.25 miles from the Great Miami River Trail. The Medlar Conservation Area is 416 acres, just some of the 16,000 acres that Five Rivers MetroParks manages. This next section of trail is dedicated to Terry Murray, a longtime member of the Ohio River Roadrunners Club. So we'll think of Terry as we crest over Eagle Hill and down to the river.
Medlar is filled with wetlands.
We've been cruising down Eagle Hill. We're about halfway down those beautiful S-turns, some of the most fun you can have on the nation's largest paved trail network, if fun to you is fun downhills. So we're here overlooking the Great Miami River Valley, and just a few stone throws that way is High View Shelter of Twin Creek Metro Park. So one might imagine the high point of High View, the high point of Eagle Hill, maybe the high point of the Miamisburg Mound, the largest Adena Indian mound in the eastern United States. There's even a high point near Possum Creek at the entrance near Sycamore Shelter. One might imagine, if you had a fire going in each of those spots, could you see each other? So this is one of those gems of southern Montgomery County as we look over the Great Miami River Valley. We're about to drop down to the river. So we've come 4¼ miles from Austin Landing through the Medlar Conservation Area to this intersection of the Great Little Trail with the Great Miami River Trail. So we are 3 miles from Miamisburg, and I want to point out that the Great Little Trail is named the Great Little Trail, which we are at the end of or the beginning of, depending how you're looking at it, because the Great Miami River Trail will someday connect to the Little Miami Scenic Trail. So right now, the trail only goes a bit beyond Austin Landing, but someday we hope it connects to the Little Miami and creates a big loop for folks who are riding the nation's largest paved trail network here in the Miami Valley. So join us, let's go for a ride towards Miamisburg. We may run into some high water, but let's go see. So we've run into not high water, but super slick trail conditions. And so on a bike like I have, I don't feel like I want to go through that mud because you have a tendency to slip out. And so we're going to turn around at this point because it is likely that near Rice Field the trail is underwater anyway. So we're going to do what you need to do when conditions aren't perfect. Change your plans. So we're going to turn around, go back to the intersection we were just at with the Great Little Trail and Great Miami River Trail. And we're going to go and finish at Crains Run Park in Miami Township, just south of that intersection. So let's modify our trip and do a switcheroo and head down to Crains Run. So we're about a mile south of the intersection of the Great Little Trail and Great Miami River Trail at Crains Run Nature Park. So you can see we're 17 miles from Dayton or 35 miles from Xenia once you hit Eastwood MetroPark and head up the Creekside Trail. But when we look at where we could go if we went further south, we're only 2.4 miles from Franklin and 7.6 miles in Middletown. So there's a lot to explore here along the Great Miami Riverway, which is a corridor from Sydney to Hamilton, 99 miles long. So get out there and check out GreatMiamiRiverway.com. Remember, never ride your bike through water. Be cautious of slick, muddy trails, and give crews a couple days after heavy high water events to clear the trails. Other than that, get out and enjoy the nation's largest paved trail network and the Great Miami Riverway. Thanks for joining us on our Ride of the Weeks here at Virtual Bike Month presented by the Miami Valley Regional Planning Commission. Get out there and bike.
Always remember to bring a face covering in case you're going to be around other people, and it also works as an ear covering on chilly days.